Welcome to Pastoral Theology Foundations 1. My name is Associate Professor Glenn Morrison. Topic 10, Jean Vanier, Descending the Ladder. For Jean Vanier, we have to choose between two different worlds of being crazy. Gee, that sounds crazy itself. But Jean Vanier points out that two different worlds are the foolishness of the gospel or the nonsense of society. So in the foolishness of the gospel, it sounds absolutely foolish for our modern mentality to descend the ladder, to live our lives with those who are poor, with those who are suffering, those who are afflicted, the poor, the crippled, the lame, the blind. And in contrast, the world, the nonsense of society, those who are seeking self-interest and self-rewards, power over others, to dominate others, to do violence to others. So Jean Vanier, in his understanding of disability and his lifelong experience with the L'Arche communities, he shows that it is in the lives of the poor where we encounter Jesus the Christ, where we can be able to share the friendship of Jesus. Here, the lives of the poor, the disabled, they bring us to the mystery of truth and life itself. So for him, Jean Vanier points out, he gives a wonderful, in a sense, phenomenology of lived experience of who are the disabled, and he answers this from the heart of being children of God. So certainly he understands the deep pain of the disabled and their vulnerability. And from there, he is able to journey into their lives to such an extent that he can witness the heart of the gospel. He can begin to understand this whole mystery of where is Jesus. So in the disabled, he meets and greets Jesus himself. In their face, we witness the Word of God. So the love of the Father, in the encounter of those who are disabled, we experience Jesus the Christ. And in such a fertile gospel atmosphere, we learn what it truly means to be human, to be humane. And this means that the disabled, for example, teach us compassion, teach us how to be friends, teach us the mystery of including the other. And so we learn through descending the ladder the art of communicating to the other. This is essential for pastoral care. We begin to communicate what is so precious in our lives itself. And then naturally we learn responsibility, the possibility of being a gift of self for the others. And here, at the very bottom of the ladder, where we descend the ladder in faith and hope and love, we learn to share weaknesses, we learn to share our disappointments, and to celebrate and to experience joy, to share a meal, to wash the feet of those who are poor, to those who are at the bottom of the social ladder, how society perceives it. And then from here we begin a life of, this may sound strange again, a life of martyrdom, a life of being a prophet. To be a martyr is to not be afraid to let ourselves hemorrhage on the wounds of another. When we understand the lives of others and begin to experience the meaning of what it means to be human, our own humanity, our own wound deep inside, we begin to be able to measure to some extent the depth of the wound, not only in ourselves but in other people. What is this wound? This wound of loneliness, this wound of wanting to share friendship with another. And so at this very heart of friendship is the experience of giving of ourselves, of mutuality and love. It's a movement of agape to philia. Agape is that seeking that well-being of another, but philia goes that step a little bit further. Not only is it seeking the welfare, but it is the friendship of love itself. So welfare and love. And this is what it means to descend the ladder, to be amongst the poor, and to experience a deeper poverty in spirit, that need for God, that need to worship God from the heart and to bring and learn a word of compassion.